Good evening. I'd like to call to order the meeting of Tuesday, November 5th, call the meeting to order and ask for approval of the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Okay, before we go to public comment, we have a couple of moments of silence to observe for Bill and Sally Steidel. So if everyone could join me, please. Okay, thank you. So then we'll have public comment and anyone that would like to speak in the audience, please raise your hand. Tim? And remember 3 minutes.
Yep.
And been respectful. And
Respect.
before your timer starts, if anyone hasn't voted, you are excused to go vote. Okay, go ahead, Tim.
Thank you. Timothy Ramey, P.O. Box 429, Cannon Beach. I sent you all an email yesterday and it just got added into the record. Chatting with Bruce yesterday, he thought it might be wise to just ask that this be an agenda item for the future. But I thought I would just give you a little context you can read. I'm not going to read it to you. But my good friend and future counselor, Mike Bates, and I got into some spirited discussions in the last couple of weeks over the subject of STRs, and we make each other smarter and better. And, you know, one of the things that's important to me is that we all believe that there is integrity in the system, that the system works, the system holds, and our regulations really do work. And I actually thought, gee, I wonder if we've ever thought about trying to ask Airbnb if they would give us, well, I know they won't give us the data, but will they collect and remit the taxes? Turns out, Councilors McCarthy and Ogilvie were there at a meeting in January 2018 when we considered this. I think that it's a good idea to be thinking about reconsidering this now. And the logic is simple. It will make our confidence in the integrity of the system higher and better if we have two sets of data. Right now we have our data and nothing from Airbnb. If we did go to a collect and remit system, Airbnb would give us money, which we could, divide by 9.5%, and we would know what the total collections would be. And then we can compare that to the data that we collect and know, are there people cheating? Is there a problem in this town? And that knowledge, that ability to know is really important to me that we get this right. I don't think there's a lot of cheating, but there very well could be, and we need to know that. And then you layer in, we have this other software that we subscribe to that is a third-party monitoring. They use AI to match pictures and, Street View and so on. And I think we could do a really good job of assuring the public that we are getting this right and we're regulating STRs correctly. So I thank you for the consideration and hope this will be a future agenda item.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Anyone else in the audience? Is there anyone on Zoom that would like to make public comment? If you'd raise your hand, please. Okay, thank you. So next we have consideration of minutes of September and some October meetings. Does anyone have any revisions?
Move to approve the meeting minutes from September 3rd, September 5th, September 10th, the 17th, also as well October 1st and 8th.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we have a resolution 2420 for the purpose of approving increases and decreases to fiscal year 2024-25 budget by making an interfund transfer of appropriations in wastewater. And Karen is here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
In 2015, water and wastewater master plans were developed for the city. And in 2016, the wastewater master plan was approved by the council and ultimately the state as well. Subsequently, in 2017, the water master plan was amended to include the revised state requirement that called for a seismic resiliency plan known as SHRAMP to be included with master plan. In the fall of 2017, the council and the state approved the revised water master plan. And since 2017, multiple projects have been completed within both master plans. And as a result, an update to both plans should be made. The water master plan is in the process of being updated now using existing water budget funds. And staff would like to also update the wastewater master plan so that both plans stay closely aligned with each other regarding status and updates. This will drive cost efficiency. This will drive efficiency in the cost associated with the significant amount of data gathering associated with updating the plans, such as our community population, residents we serve, demographics, water demands, et cetera. A lot of the data component can be used in both plans unless too much time has lapsed between updating cycles, requiring a new set of data analysis to support the update. The current approved public works budget for wastewater has $276,162 in the contingency budget. And staff is requesting to use $170,000 of those funds to cover the estimated cost to update the wastewater master plan. This allows both plans to be updated at the same time and take advantage of the potential cost savings relative to the data component of the effort required in both master plans. Recommendation is staff recommends adopting resolution 2420, authorizing the intrafund transfer.
Does anyone have questions of Karen? Yes.
Thanks, Karen. I'm all supportive of this. How long has it taken to build up this excess in the budget?
How long has it taken to build the excess in the budget?
$176,162.
You know, I can't answer that, Brandon, as far as the length of time to build that contingency. But as you know, each year when we do the budget, we try to get a 10% contingency consistently in the budget. How long it takes us to build that up, I would have to get with Tim and see what the run rate is to create a contingency of 10%.
And I'm not saying we need to have that. I'm just wondering, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, a good question. Thank you.
Can I make a motion? Anybody have any other questions? Go ahead.
I move to adopt the resolution 2420 for the purpose of approving increases and decreases to the FY 2024-2025 budget by making an interfund transfer of appropriations.
Second?
Any further discussion? Roll call, please, Jen.
Counselor Hayes,
Yes.
Counselor Kerr,
Yes.
Counselor Ogleby.
Yes.
Council President McCarthy,
Yes.
Mayor Knopf.
Yes. Thank you, Karen.
Very much.
Thank you. Next, we have resolution 2421 for the purpose of approving increases and decreases to the fiscal year. Let's say 2024-25 budget
Yeah.
by making an interfund transfer of appropriations for the City Hall and Police Station project. Good evening, Tim.
Good evening. The resolution before you is to adjust the funds inside the City Hall and Police Station projects. Originally, when that budget was built, we were to have sold the bonds in the spring of 2024. However, we did not actually sell the bonds until recently, October of 25. So the amount to both what the cost of the bond was and the reimbursement amounts to the general fund, we would not know at that time. So this is a resolution to adjust materials and services for $335,231 and to cover the cost of issuance. And a $1,680,988 from capital outlay to transfers, and that's to reimburse the general fund for the funds that have already been expended per resolution 22-05. And the recommendation is to approve resolution 24-21. And I'm available for questions.
So this, this is a reimbursement from the bonds that we issued to the general fund?
Correct, for the expenditures that have already been spent on the project.
You recall, probably 2 years ago, we did a reimbursement resolution.
Mhm.
saying City would be able to reimburse itself.
Other questions?
This has nothing to do with any increase in the budget for the buildings. It's
No.
just about moving money around from one place to another, essentially.
Correct. This is just because the legal appropriations is,
Right.
that's what we're doing here.
And the amount being reimbursed, 335,000, that's the issuance cost,
Correct, for the bond issuance cost for.
and that's just going back into the general fund.
So the 335,000 is actually for the legal appropriation inside of that fund. We did not have issuance costs inside of the bond or the police and city hall fund, because in theory, they would have already happened inside of, or it happened in spring of 24 before this budget was built.
And then can you explain where the 1.68 million is going?
So the 1.68 million were funds that were expended in the general fund as we were beginning the process for design, et cetera, for this program. It's very typical is what you do is as you get ready to sell bonds, you will spend the money to keep the project moving forward, which is what we did. However, we were unable to reimburse last year because we didn't sell the bonds. So we were essentially carrying a debt inside the general fund that would be recovered by the sale of bonds. So that will go right back into the ending fund of the general fund. I think when I talked about in the financial report for the end of June, I discussed that where our ending fund balance had gone from 5.3 million down to 4 million. This 1.6 million was the major driver of that. So again, we really actually finished the year with a positive fund balance again. Positive increase to the fund balance.
Any other questions?
I'll move to approve resolution 2421 for the purpose of approving increases and decreases fiscal year 2023-2024 budget by making an interfund transfer of appropriations for the city hall and police station project.
Second?
I have a question. Should that be the 20?
It should be 24, 25.
Yeah, it should be,
I was reading that, I'm like, wait a minute.
yeah, it should be 25. Sorry about that.
Please let my motion reflect for the fiscal year 2024-2025 budget.
I'll modify my second if that's necessary.
Yes, please. Time is going fast, but okay, any further discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Council President McCarthy?
Yes.
Counselor Hayes?
Yes.
Counselor Kerr?
Yes.
Counselor Ogilvy?
Yes.
Mayor Knopf?
Yes. Okay, thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. Back.
Okay, so now we go into our action items. First is consideration for authorizing an additional day off as a holiday for the staff. Bruce?
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. The council has been gracious enough in the past several years to allow additional holiday around the Christmas holiday. And usually that allowed employees to get at least one 4-day weekend. And that always worked out well for us. This year, where the calendar falls, Christmas Eve and Christmas are on Tuesday and Wednesday. The Monday before is payroll day, so we're not going to take off payroll day. And so we want to make it the 26th, which get it a little bit further into the later end of the week. But there won't be an actual 4-day time frame. But I'm just asking again this year, it's always been very well received and appreciated by the employees. And it's kind of a way to say thanks for all the great things you've done over the past year.
So they would come back on Friday
Or else take Friday off.
or take Friday off?
But, so they're gonna work Monday and Friday. And party Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, 6-day weekend.
Does anybody have any questions?
No, other than to thank our staff in advance, and I'm always happy to do this.
Oh, thank you.
All the hours they've sat in here with us.
Do we get the day off?
All the questions and more questions.
Yes.
More questions.
Maybe.
Maybe we get the day off.
Jen makes us decide.
Well, Jen tried to get us to be on New Year's Eve.
That was the
Okay.
worst case scenario.
Yeah, but you were gonna bring the champagne, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I move to approve of the one-time granting of December 26th Guild as a city holiday as a gesture of support and thanks to city staff.
Second.
Thank you first, Gary.
And it doesn't even matter.
Any further discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Counselor Kerr,
Yes.
Counselor Ogilvy,
Yes.
Council President McCarthy,
Yes.
Counselor Hayes,
Yes.
Mayor Knopf.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
After the staff, I thank the council.
We thank them. Okay, next, we have scope of review determination for Pamela Gaddis appeal of a planning commission decision to deny a variance for lot coverage requirements in conjunction with alterations to an exterior located at 188 West Jackson Street, tax lot 51030AB02400. Good evening, Steve.
Evening, Mayor, Council. Thank you for the item previously, so.
That was everybody but you.
Yeah, all right, okay, well. Anyways, so what we're taking a look at is we got a couple of, the next two items are dealing with some appeals from Plan Commission. The first one is dealing with Pamela Gaddis, who was looking for a variance to lot coverage in conjunction with alterations to an existing mixed-use building. Plan Commission had denied that application. The Gaddises have submitted an appeal of that decision to council. And as you're aware, we do this scope of review, so to determine the terms under which the review would take place. The applicant has requested that the matter be reviewed on a specific issue in order to allow the appellants to present house plans and explain why city code did not require a variance from the lot coverage requirements because the applicants did not increase the nonconformity. Council typically reviews on the record and staff is recommending the review be on the record. So the applicant is asking for a couple of items to be included, plans and a description as to why they didn't believe the variance was required. And it's the position of staff that we were looking at it to be just strictly on the record of the Plan Commission's decision, the information prior to them.
I was at that planning commission meeting. So I heard everything that happened, you know, the whole presentation. And I think that's a good recommendation. Actually, what's kind of ironic here is the request to include those plans is to show that a variance wasn't needed. But what the applicant is asking for is that the denial of a variance be reversed and that they be granted a variance. So it's really irrelevant. Those plans become irrelevant to the issue before us is whether or not the variance should have been granted.
Well, and the other aspect of this is, this has been, and we'll get into this during the hearings process, but this was a project that was completed without certain items and things progressed. So there's been significant amount of time for these plans to have been submitted. We've been dealing with this since, summer of 24 and finally got the application. So there's been a significant amount of time and letters back and forth telling them what information should go to DRB, what should go to Plan Commission. So there's been ample opportunity in our minds to have that information submitted.
Well, and you said it so nicely, but really what they did is they did alterations without a building permit
That's correct.
at all, and significant alterations.
So, yeah, when I read this, I was a little on the confused side because it sounded at first like they were going to do something and then it sounded like they've already done it. Now they're asking forgiveness instead of permission.
That's correct. This is a code enforcement action that's been taken. Staff found out about the project and has subsequently provided the administrative processes available. First of all, indicating that they're in violation and then doing the procedural elements as to if they wouldn't have been in violation, how they would have needed to go through procedurally to, if, for example, it wasn't done, what all the other applicants would do for a project like this in the city. So there's been a lot of back and forth throughout this matter. And we're finally getting to the point in time where we've taken some action to try to rectify the issue.
So the materials in our packet are actually the materials they would like to resubmit.
That is what Attorney Dean Alterman submitted on behalf of the Gaddises that they're hoping to have as part of the review by council.
Yeah.
In a sense, we are reviewing them because they're in our packet, whether they're approved or not.
At this point in time, and I don't know if you recall, I think there, one of the items that, we'll be speaking of previously, we had something similar on an appeal with the Burtons a while ago where we had to redact some of the materials that were provided when the matter was brought before you, because that was also a matter that was dealt with on the record. And there was information similar to this that was in addition to, that wasn't part of the Plan Commission's record. So when they make the appeal application request, they certainly have the opportunity to include the information that they're hoping that the council would consider as part of that application.
Steve, how close are we on the 120-day clock?
Where we are is the hearing I believe is around December 5th, somewhere in that area. And I think December 25th is the 120 days. And that'll be the same answer I give you for the next item as well. And that's why these are both on there. So if there's the need for any sort of drafting of findings of fact or things like that, we would have the hearing and still have a little bit of wiggle room to take that final action prior to that 120 days, which is on Christmas Day. Which I'm sure is the day you all want to be here, but you've given us that off, so we appreciate that.
We have it scheduled for December 3rd, and then we also have a work session on the 10th, and we have December 5th and 17th on hold. So there are several opportunities in December to meet before the deadline.
Well, given that our community development director and the department have spent so much time on this case already and gone back and forth with these applicants, and because they are the ones who are recommending that it be heard on the record, I make a motion that we hear it on the record.
I'm happy to second that.
And this one is typically just consensus, but we can do a motion if you'd like.
I would support that too.
I would too. I think we have it by consensus.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Chief.
Yeah.
Don't
You're
go.
probably not going to go very far.
I'm not yet.
Oh, we got another one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So. good one.
So this is a scope of review determination for Brent Burton, appeal of a planning commission decision to deny a setback reduction request on an undeveloped lot near the intersection of South Hemlock and Center Streets, tax lot number 51030 DD 04320
All right. So as you might recall, Brent Burton is looking to do a setback reduction to construct a home off of Hemlock and Center Streets. The last time it was appealed to the council, the Plan Commission had previously denied that. They appealed the matter to council. Council remanded that decision back to Plan Commission. The Plan Commission on September 26th denied the setback reduction request. Mr. Burton has appealed that request. And so again, we're doing, the council's reviewing the scope of review in terms of, how it wishes to review the matter. Mr. Burton has requested that the matter be reviewed on the record, and that's what council typically does. So staff was recommending a review on the record.
Looks like that's an easy one.
I move that we review Mr. Burton's appeal on the record. Or whatever I do.
Seems to satisfy everybody.
Ask or you agree, does anyone agree?
Everybody,
Yes.
Yes, there we go.
But the third time I've heard this?
Yes.
I just procedurally, we remanded it back to the planning commission. Denied it, come back to us. Was there the 120-day rule waived in there at some point?
Yeah. So as part of that, there has been, Mr. Burton prior to one of the Plan Commission decisions asked for an extension of the 120-day clock to.
Be coming back.
Yeah, so there was a request, and as part of that request for that extension, he needed to extend the 120-day clock. So that decision is similar to what we just talked about, is that it's exactly the same as Gaddis in terms of where the 120 is, and that is on Christmas as well.
Thank you.
okay, thank you. Done with it.
Right.
Thanks.
Night.
Right.
Steve, thanks.
Okay, so next on the agenda, we have the city manager evaluation, and Ashley is
Here, oh, there she is.
here.
He's joining right now.
Good evening, Council. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. So Ashley Driscoll, City Attorney's Office. I am coming to talk to you tonight about our annual city manager evaluation. So I think this year, everybody on the council has already gone through this process before. So this should look pretty familiar to you. For those who are tuning in, who may not be as familiar with this process, under Bruce's employment agreement with the city, he has an evaluation each year around the time of his hire, which was December 1st. And the process that we have used, at least since I've been your city attorney for the last 6 years, is a collaborative process. So tonight, the city council is going to look through the evaluation form and criteria. If the criteria and the procedure looks good to the council, then we're going to adopt the evaluation form and criteria and then set the process in motion. The first step in the process is that the city manager is going to complete his own self-evaluation. I talked to Bruce today. He said that he could have that done by the end of the week, if necessary. Once Bruce submits his self-evaluation, the city council then meets an executive session with the city attorney to discuss the city manager's performance using the adopted criteria. From past experience, this should usually be a standalone executive session. How the city of Cannon Beach has handled this is that because the council as a body is Bruce's supervisor, it's best to give him consistent and unified feedback on his performance and expectations for the future. So a lot of times, the council's discussions have been really positive and really robust, but they do take some time. So we need to find a time for that executive session. And then following that executive session, the city council and the city manager will meet in executive session to discuss the evaluation. In years past, we have done this both as a freestanding executive session or in conjunction with another meeting. This meeting doesn't typically take as long as the first executive session. Then on December 3rd, which is the city council's regular meeting for December, the city council will adopt the city manager evaluation and discuss a potential merit increase in an open meeting. The employment agreement between the city and Bruce provides for consideration of a merit increase after each evaluation. So that's the process. What I would like to know from the city council tonight is if there's any amendments to the criteria or the process from years past. So that's question number 1. Question number 2 is to find a time for these executive sessions. And then question number 3 is if the council would like me to gather any additional information regarding potential merit increases for the city manager. In years past, we've gathered some information from some of these city managers in the county, and you've had that to consider when making a decision about a merit increase. So with that, I'll turn it back to the council for any discussion about the evaluation form and criteria.
Well, I really appreciated the method that we did, and I don't see anything different that we need to change
No, I agree with
in the
that.
process.
Yeah,
I agree.
it works well.
I would like, as we've done in the past, though, to have the cost comparison for the merit increases.
Right, for
Yes.
Great.
the county.
Yeah.
City managers.
Got that, Ashley?
Got it.
Probably the harder part's gonna be deciding on the dates.
Yeah, do we need to
Mhm.
pick dates for executive session and council and city manager meeting?
So yes, so I would like especially, so Bruce said he could have the self-evaluation due by the end of the week. So anytime starting next week, if the council's available, we can meet in an executive session. And I would like to get both of these executive sessions in November if possible. If we're not able to get both, I would say my suggestion would be to find the time to do the one executive session where we meet without Bruce, and then to add that's evaluation executive session onto the December 3rd meeting.
I'm available next week and the week after.
Well, I'm not available next Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday.
And I'm not available
Well, we have
next Friday.
we have a city council meeting
Next Tuesday?
night, yeah.
Okay.
With
And we probably want to stay away from Veterans Day because
Yeah,
city is closed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'll be out of it, but I'll be here.
Okay.
So is November 13th a possibility? That's next Wednesday.
Yeah, that would work.
it is for me.
I can do that.
Evening?
Yep.
If it was in the evening.
I'm
So-
available evening.
Okay. So what does evening mean? In years past, the meeting has been almost 2 hours. So would a 4 to 6 work or 5 to 7? And again, also Jen is the city council chambers available at that time.
4 would work for me.
I have food pantry
So let's do 5 to 7,
or
5 to 7, Barb.
5:30 to 7:30.
Okay.
It's fine with me.
That's fine with me, yeah.
All right. And so for that second executive session, is it possible the week of Thanksgiving? And I understand that it might not be, but either the 25th or 26th.
So 26th, I believe, is out because that's when planning commission meets. So
Oh, that's a tough week.
initially, when we did our request with nights, there was not a lot of people available on that week.
How about November 21st? That is the Thursday before Thanksgiving.
Don't think I can do that.
That's DRB night.
Yeah, I can't do that.
How about November 20th?
No, I can't do that whole week. I can't do
Oh.
that.
Okay.
Day or night,
Huh?
day or
I
night.
can do days, but I can't do night.
And what was the 26th?
Planning Commission.
26th.
Was
Yeah, it's
planning.
fine.
How about the 27th? That's the night before Thanksgiving.
Monday?
I can't do that one.
How about,
But I would be able to do during the day, for the week.
Yeah,
how about the 21st during the days sometime?
What day is the 21st?
It's a Thursday.
yeah, I can do,
Thursday.
let's see, what am I?
We have
So I don't.
it's the Parks meeting, but
I have
in,
I can-
TAC at 3, but I can move TAC into the conference room if you want.
Yeah, I can't do it after 3 o'clock on the 21st. I can do it
I think I have a
before.
doctor's appointment, pretty sure on Thursday.
I'm good all afternoon.
what about Friday, the 22nd during the day?
I can do that.
I could do that.
I cannot do that.
Well, actually,
Did we have a window on Thursday? Or
I can do it all the way up until 3 o'clock. Well, until
Don't have a window.
2:45. Yeah.
and you don't.
No,
Okay.
How about is it anything available during the day on the 25th or 27th?
the 25th is a Wednesday.
It's a Monday.
25th is a Monday?
It's the Monday of
Oh,
Thanksgiving week
I,
during the day.
yeah.
well, I'm can't do it between noon and 2 on Monday, the 25th.
I could do that Monday in the afternoon.
How about
after
2 o'clock on the 25th?
How about 2:30 on the
How about
25th?
2:30?
That would work.
Ashley, does that work for you?
That works great.
Okay, great.
Okay, so,
Okay.
Okay. It's
Nice.
council chambers, okay?
yep, so we said November 25th at 2:30,
Yeah.
Hold on, and what was the other date? So I can write it down.
November 13th at 5:30.
13, 30, and 25th at 2:30. Okay.
Yep, and I will do a calendar notice.
Okay, good.
So November 13th, 5:30, November 25th, 2:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, just to finish up this agenda item, I just need a motion to approve the city manager evaluation form and criteria for calendar year 2024. And I think a so moved would work on this one.
I'll move to adopt the evaluation form and criteria, the 2024 city manager evaluation.
Second?
Any further discussion? Roll call, please, Jen?
Counselor Ogilvy,
Yes.
Council President McCarthy,
Yes.
Counselor Hayes,
Yes.
Counselor Kerr,
Yes.
Mayor Knapp.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Ashley.
Thank you. Have a great meeting.
Thank you.
Next week.
Next week, what? Okay, next we have monthly status report. Any questions on any of that? No questions? I feel like a classroom teacher and want to take your cell phone away from you. Do you have any questions of monthly status report?
No.
You sure?
He does, but
I don't, but I forgot. I'm so distracted.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
This is
Yeah.
tough. That's not, I'm trying really hard to focus myself. No questions.
I'll just save it for next time.
Okay. And I can't think of
Oh,
it.
I know one thing.
Oh,
Yeah, we were did we ever schedule the housing meeting?
No, so I emailed Marcy I guess today's Tuesday. I emailed Marcy yesterday and let her know about the dates in December. And I also asked if she wanted to try to piggyback on DRB or planning commission in November. So I'm waiting to hear back from her. So I gave her the dates of the extra meetings in December and just said, well, best for you.
Okay, but that is a meeting. It's a meeting with all the groups.
With all the groups.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
really important.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've given her every option we could possibly come up with. So I'm just waiting to see what works
All
best for
right,
them.
great.
Yep.
Can I get I don't know if this is time to ask, can I get an update on the City Hall, police station bidding?
Yes.
How are we doing? How's it going? What's happening?
I believe the rest of the work we have.
We had 11 different contractors show up.
Some of it might have been subcontractors. But they were left independent. And our first, let me see, the proposals are due on the 13th.
13th at 4 p.m.
Yeah, and then the
13th of November.
18th and the 20th are the days that we'll do the interview. And then we hope to have the announcement, actually the bring an item to the council agenda on the 13th of December.
No, it would be closer to the end of December, so it would probably be the 17th meeting, the one, I think it was the 17th we decided. So there is, after we do the interviews and then we discuss go through contract negotiations, all of that kind of stuff, and then there's a notice of intent to award, and then council would approve the contract. So there's still a bit of a process we go before it ends up to council. We're hoping to have the notice of intent done before the 13th, so we can get it to you guys early. It just kind of depends on how long that contract negotiation period takes, the holidays, and then kind of slow us down a little bit. But it will be in December.
Can I ask if any of them were local contractors?
Define local.
I guess, North Coast.
Yes.
Oh,
We have 6 people on the evaluation committee. It's Rusty, Karen, myself, Mike Benefield, and
Les.
Les Sinclair
And Tim.
and Tim Collier. They'll be the ones doing the interviewing and evaluation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce.
Anyone else have anything I kind of think we're down to good of the order.
Are you trying to lengthen this out or?
No. I just think we did, well, we were on mayor communications. I said I didn't have anything. Counselor communications, good of the order. I think we probably should talk in good of the order if we want to include an agenda item in the future for the Airbnb
I was going to have.
discussion.
Yes.
Everybody in agreement? Like that?
okay.
An agenda item.
Is that part of the whole STR discussion or not?
It has to be by nature, yes.
So it would just be included in whatever STR discussion we have.
I think this is somewhat out of that because it's more of a this is more of a monitoring of the STRs, not so much a creation or regulation of them in the sense of that you're,
So it's just a separate discussion
yeah,
and disconnecting it from the overall STR.
yeah, I think so.
I would just like to get some background at what you guys heard
Mhm.
and just for some information gathering.
Right. So
Question, do you want it in November work session or December work session? Do you want me to tell you what's in your November work session first and then you decide?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, Pacific Power is gonna do an annual maintenance update. We're gonna have the farmer's market annual report, the chamber annual report, TAC ordinance and recommendations. It's what they were looking at their ordinance that it says possible revisions. Yard debris burning, recreational burning, gas leak blowers, and we're gonna introduce our new emergency manager.
December, everybody okay with that?
I'm sure it's better.
Yes.
December's really open.
Hey, yes, that
Right this moment.
Okay.
Jennifer, would you notify Steve Waite about the the yard debris burning. Would you notify Jessica Sund about the gas blower?
Do you have her contact information?
I'm not sure. I may, if I do, I'll look for it and send it to you. I may have it. at home,
She
but
still lives.
Try to.
Yeah, okay. Right there. Right there. What? Jessica, son, she still lives in,
What's that?
oh, she still lives in that family home.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. She lives,
Yeah.
I'm sure, I don't think she's moved.
Yeah. Okay, anything else for good of the order?
I think so.
Okay, meeting's